Nearly year-long reporting on the forgotten families prompts change. They are homeless families relocated from New York City shelters into squalid conditions in New Jersey. The same week that New Jersey's largest city sued New York over this controversial practice, the woman tasked with rooting out corruption releases a damning report about this program. CBS 2's Lisa Rozner was the first reporter to sit down with her today.
Why didn't you fix these homes? In February, landlord Sean Young ran from us after we found out he was taking money from New York City and renting New Jersey units to relocated homeless families with no heat, hot water, or lights, plus vermin infestations. Around that time, New York City's Commissioner of Homeless Services told us,
I learned about this as a result of your reporting. We're working with law enforcement.
That law enforcement was the Department of Investigation, or DOI, the city's independent watchdog. Today, that agency released a report on SOTA, the special one-time assistance program that gives landlords like Young 1 year's rent up front for a lease to house homeless families. New York City workers were supposed to inspect the apartments before handing over the money, but DOI found they were
undertrained, not very knowledgeable housing specialists.
One filled out a near-perfect report for a New Jersey apartment without going inside. Another approved this home, even though there were 52 open violations.
Some of these forms were falsely filled out by DHS staff.
That's right.
Did the Department of Investigation look at whether this was a widespread problem within the DHS agency?
I will say we have several ongoing investigations into housing specialists and the housing specialist program.
Young rented 19 units to SOTA recipients in Newark and East Orange. The average SOTA lease is $17,000.
For someone like Sean Young, that amounts to more than $300,000 that he took from New York City taxpayers. Are we going to recoup that money?
I know the city is currently in legal action.
But there will be no criminal charges. DOI found DHS paperwork didn't require landlords outside of the city to affirm their apartments were habitable. But brokers who were on average paid more than $2,500 per unit did sign that the apartments were okay. When we asked about SOTA clients being pressured to move into these units.
So would that potentially encompass kickbacks?
Potentially, yes.
Homeless Services says it's following the recommendations and since strengthened its inspection process and is piloting handing over rent in installments instead of a full year up front.
As for how this will make a difference, DOI says it will monitor its recommendations. In Lower Manhattan, Lisa Rozner, CBS 2 News.
Mayor de Blasio did respond to this report, admitting mistakes were made with the SOTA program, but was defensive when asked about the lawsuit filed by New Jersey cities over the program's failures.
If the building's in your jurisdiction, you have responsibility for the health and safety of the building. That's true everywhere, right? So, again, physician, heal thyself. If Newark is saying these buildings are not acceptable places for people to live, why is Newark not doing anything about it?
Coming up at 6 tonight, CBS 2 political reporter Marcia Kramer has more now on the mayor's fiery response.